Hi all, today we will discuss this pattern. We will discuss how to write Java program to print this pattern. Okay, if you see this pattern here, the pattern is see, here the pattern is 1 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4. Like see, if you observe the rows 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? The rows are in the increasing order, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, each row is starting with, if you observe the elements in the each row, they are in the increasing order. Okay, the elements are starting, the starting elements of this pattern are in the increasing order. Okay, so for the each row, if you observe the elements of the rows, each row the elements are same elements, right? The same elements, those are printing, right? 2 2 3 3 3, like that, right? Same elements are printing. Okay, so what we have to do generally for the rows are in the increasing order, so we will take I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. Okay, because these are in the increasing order, and in the each row the elements are in the how, see, for I equal to 1, 1 element, for I equal to 2, 2 elements, for I equal to 3, 3 elements, for I equal to 1, first row, for I equal to 2, second row, for I equal to 3, third row, for I equal to 4, fourth row, like that, fifth, sixth, seventh. So for I equal to 1, only one element is there. For I equal to 2 and 3 and 4, two elements which are same, right? So here what we have to do, we have to write inner loops, right? So one inner loop to print the elements in this pattern, and another inner loop to print the spaces in this pattern. So first of all, we will discuss how to print the elements in this pattern. Okay, to print the elements in this pattern, what we have to do, so for the I equal to 1, j is only 1, so starting number we have to take j is equal to 1. From 1 to, from 1 to how many numbers we should print? 1 to 7, right? Okay, so starting element is 1 and ending element is 7, right? So if you observe here, I and j are same. For I equal to 1, 1 element, for I equal to 2, 2 elements we have to print, for I equal to 3, 3 elements we have to print. Means we have to take here, the condition is j less than or equal to I and j plus plus. Okay, but here instead of j, in other patterns like in inner loop j, to print the elements we will print the j element, but here we have to print the I element because the elements are same. If you observe in the each row, the elements are same, right? For I equal to 1, it should print 1 element. For I equal to 2, it should print 2 elements. For I equal to 3, it should print 3 elements, but those are same. So we will write system.out.print statement, right? There we have to print I element, but j loop is same like other patterns, but the printing is different. Normally we will print the j element, but here we have to print the I. Okay, because as the elements are same in the each row, we have to print I this time. Okay, and when you come to space, if you observe how many spaces are there in the first row, see, if you take this as a base, exactly 1 2 3 4 5, right? Before this number, how many spaces are there? Up to this you have to consider, right? How many spaces? 1 2 3 4, see how many spaces? 7 element, and after that space, 7 element, after that space, and 7 element. This many spaces are there, right, in first row. So totally how many spaces, we are seeing here? If you see here, how many spaces, like if you observe here the element printed, right? 1 2 3 4 5. Here the element is there in the middle, right? In the middle. So here if you take like a 6 spaces are there here, right? 6 spaces exactly. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 exactly. Here in the middle element 7 element is printing, right? Here, so before this all are spaces only, the first row, right? So how many spaces are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Here another space, right? Exactly in this middle element 1 is there, right? So before 1 there are how many spaces? 6 spaces are there. 6 5 4 3 2 and 1. The spaces are in a decreasing order. Okay, so this is, so for this spaces also we have to write another for loop. Okay, so we'll see how to write the program for this pattern. Okay, so I'm taking first of all, right, we have to take here the package statement com dot, and after package statement we have to write the class statement, public class. What is the class name of my, what is the class name? I have already declared it as a pattern19, right? So same class I am taking, and after that we have to write the main method. So after writing the main method I have to enter the number of rows from the keyboard, right? So for that I am taking scanner class. Okay, to enter the input from the scanner, to enter the input from the keyboard. Okay, okay, so that I am taking. And if you see this, we can click on Control Shift O to get the import statement. Okay, if you press Control Shift O, it will give you the import statement. Okay, so here we have to show the message in the console that how many rows you want in this pattern. Okay, whatever the message, understandable way you can write that message. Okay, in the understandable way you can write whatever you want. Okay, how many rows, how many rows you want in this pattern I am writing. Okay, after that, so I'm taking that element, whatever we are entering on the keyboard, that element I am taking and I am assigning to in variable. So whatever I am entering from the keyboard, integer sc dot next into other is storing into the in variable. Okay, so after that we have to print the output button, right? So I'm writing, here is your output, here is your output button. So after that, so now we have to take one for loop. So first outer for loop to print the number of rows, right? Here say for each row, if you see this, how many rows are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? 7 rows are there. Okay, so 7 times the loop should repeat. So I am taking outer for loop for the each, for the number of rows. Okay, for int I equal to, for int I equal to 1, from starting 1 to 7, right? Up to which number it has to, up to which number the rows number are like less than or equal to, less than or equal to maximum input given. Okay, and rows are in the increasing order, right? I am taking I plus plus. Okay, so this is for the number of rows. So I is for the number of rows. Okay, so for I equal to 1 to, suppose I am entering 7 means I equal to, from 1 to 7 it will print the rows. Okay, so it will print overall 7 rows. Okay, and after that in the 7 rows we have to print the elements, right, in each row. For that we have to take one for loop. Okay, I'm taking one for loop first to print elements. Okay, first to print elements, what I have to do for so how the elements are there in this pattern, 1 2 2 3 3 like that, right? So elements are in the increasing order. So for I equal to 3, j should repeat in the loop for 3 times. For I equal to 1 time it should rotate, and for I equal to 2 times it should rotate, and for I equal to 3 it should rotate 3 times. For I equal to 4 times it should rotate in the loop, right? Like that. So as the rows numbers are increasing, the number of elements, the printing elements are also increasing, right? For I equal to 1, j should be 1, and for I equal to 2, j should be 2, for I equal to 3, j should be 3, like that. 3 elements, right? 3 elements it is. For I equal to 4, it is printing 4 elements, so we have to take j is equal to 4, so 4 times it should print, it should repeat in the loop. Okay, 4 times loop should get repeated. So for I equal to 1, it should print only 1 element. So if you observe, the number of printing elements are also increasing along with the row number, right? Whatever the row number, that many times element should print. For see, this is the first row, that's why it should print only 1 element. For it is the second row and it should print 2 elements, and it is the third row and it should print 3 elements. It's the fourth row and it should print 4 elements. It's the fifth row, it should print 5 elements, right? Like that up to 7, right? So so we have to take j plus plus as the numbers, the number of printing numbers are also increasing by row. We have to take j plus plus. Okay, so starting element is 1 up to 7, right? So as like I, we have to take the j condition, same like j is equal to 1, j is equal to 1 to j, how to whatever the I element, up to that element it has to, right? That's why I have to take j less than or equal to I and j plus plus. Okay, so how many times, so whatever the value of I is there, that many times j should get rotate in the loop, right? That many times the for loop should rotate. So for I equal to 1, j should rotate in the loop for only 1 time. For I equal to 2, inner for loop should rotate for 2 times, like that. So that's why I'm taking this condition, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. Okay, after that I'm printing the elements. So to print the elements, just okay. So after that, after printing the elements, it should come to next line, right? So for that I'm taking that out.println statement. So after outer for loop closing, we have to close the scanner class to avoid any resource leaks. Okay, so we will see how the pattern will get as of now. Okay, see here why the elements are printing line by line instead of side by side is here. See here 1 and 2 should be in the same line, right? 1 2 3 should be in the same line. As I am taking here ln statement, elements are printing in the next line, so here I have to remove that ln statement so that the elements will be in the same row, same line. Okay, see, this is what, right? This is what the elements we want, right? Okay, see, if you observe, the elements in the each row are same, but what we got, we got different elements, right? As we are printing j, as the j is increasing row by row, it is printing different elements, right? But we want same elements, right? So that's why we have to print here, we have to print I element, so that we will get the same elements in the each row. Okay, now I am giving 7. See, instead of printing j, we have to print I, because we want, if you see our output pattern, the elements are same in the each row, so we have to print I instead of j. Okay, that is it. So, and if you see the output pattern, we are having spaces also in between the elements, we are having spaces also, right? But we got without spaces, right? Without spaces we are getting, right? That's why we have to print the space also here. Okay, so plus I'm printing space, one space here. Okay, now we'll see. Suppose I'm giving 7. See, I'm getting spaces, right? If you see, this is the output pattern we are trying to print. This is what we got, 1 2 2 3 3 3. Okay, we got the same pattern except the spaces in the each row. Okay, see, no spaces in the rows, but here we have spaces in the rows. So now we will focus on the printing of spaces. Okay, so I'm writing to print spaces. Okay, what I have to write for, I am taking another inner for loop to print j. Okay, so what I, so how the, so in the first row, if you observe, in the first row, if you observe how many spaces are there in the first row? 7, right? See, up to this 1 2 3 4 5, and how many rows? 6 spaces are there up to this. After that, one element is there, right? So 7 number space, 7 number space, 7 number space. So overall 6 spaces are there in the first row, right? So to print 6 rows in the first row, we have to focus on getting 6 here. Starting element should be 6, as 6 spaces are there. We have to get here 6. So how we will get 6? If I do n minus I, 7 minus 1, I will get 6, right? 6. So after that, j greater than or equal to 1. Up from 6 to how many spaces? See, here 6 spaces, 5 spaces, 4 3 2 1 space. So 6 to 1, right? That's why I am writing here j greater than or equal to 1 till 1. Okay, and j minus this is how. Okay, so now I have to print the spaces, right? Places, that spaces should be in the same row. That's why I have to give here print statement, and I'm printing space. Okay, so this is how we have to write to print the spaces. Okay, see, now we will check the output now. Once 7. See, this is what exact output pattern we want, right? See, 1 2 2 2 and spaces also there exactly in the middle element. 1 is printing, right? This pattern also same, right? Exactly in the middle element 1 is printing, exactly in the middle element, and the same pattern we got, right? So this is how we have to write the Java program to print this pattern. Okay, so how we are taking it for the each row we have taken I. Okay, for the each row, as the rows are in the increasing order, we have taken from 1 to 7 rows are there, right? From 1 to 7 rows are in the increasing order. So I equal to 1 to I less than or equals to n I plus I have taken to So to print the spaces, another inner for loop, and to print the elements, another for loop. To print the spaces, those spaces are in the first row, spaces are how many? 6 spaces, 5 spaces, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Spaces are in the decreasing order and starting from 6 to 1. That's why I have written this j is equal to n minus y, j is equal to n minus I, and up to j greater than or equal to 1, it should print spaces, and these are in the decreasing order, printing spaces. Okay. After that, after printing spaces, it should print the element, right? It should print the element 1 in the second row, 2, 2, like that. So to printing the elements, I have taken this condition j is equal to 1, 1 less than or equal to 1. It will print one space, one element in the first row, one space and one element, because j is equal to n minus I means here 7 minus 1, 6, it will become 6 greater than or equal to 1, right? So 6 greater than or equal to 1, it will print one space, and j minus 1 is, right, 6 minus 1, 5, 5, it will become 5 greater than or equal to 1, it will print one space. 4 greater than or equal to 1, it will print one space. 3 greater than or equal to 1, it will print one space. 2 greater than or equal to 1, 1 greater than or equal to 1, till 1 it will print the spaces. Okay, 6 spaces it will print. After that, whenever I value will become 1, 1 minus 1, 0, right? 0 greater than or equal to 1, this condition will fail. That's why it will come, it will come to the next row. So after coming to the next row, it will come to another for loop. After printing the space, it will come to another for loop and it will print the element. So 1 less than or equal to 1, this condition is true. That's why it will print one element in the first row. After that, 1 plus 1, 2, it will become 2 less than or equal to 1, this condition will fail. That's why it will print only one element and it will come to the next line. This is how this loop will work till 7 rows. Till 7 rows. Till 7 rows, it will repeat the loops and it will print the elements. And we will get finally this output. Okay. Hope you understand. If you have any doubts, please comment below. Thank you.